Now, it turns out that there's a new GOP leader. Who is it? Well, you know, actually, let me give you a graphic first that's going to tell you who it is, and go in reverse order here. I mean, is it, for example, could it be Rand Paul and Ted Cruz who are in the Tea Party and they did the filibuster, and Rand Paul cares about the NSA, Ted Cruz cares about Obamacare, etc. Could be, is it Christie still leading after his controversies? Turns out, no, that's not the answer at all. And you're going to be very surprised. I was very surprised by who the new leader is. All right, reverse order, like I said. 5% for Bobby Jindal, governor of Louisiana. That's not surprising. 6% for the governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker. 8% each for Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Paul Ryan. Ted Cruz has gone down considerably, not that good. 11% for Rand Paul. Hey, look, Christie's still hanging in there at 13%. Wow, the guy in second is a little surprising. Jeb Bush at 14%. Well, they need a new so-called moderate now that Christie's in a lot of trouble. And what that actually means is they need a new front man for Wall Street, and that would be Jeb Bush, just like I said it was going to be, right? But no, they're not number one. Number one on the list, the new head of the Republican field for the primaries in 2016, Mike frickin' Huckabee. Isn't that amazing? Now, why did Mike Huckabee jump up out of nowhere to take the leading position? Well, it's because if you're in a Republican primary field, the guy who says the most ridiculous, most vicious, most extreme thing is the one that's going to take the lead. When Ted Cruz was saying those things, he jumped up in popularity. Now, what did Mike Huckabee talk about, and why is he even in the news now? One thing only. When he was talking to the Republican Party, he said this about women.
If the Democrats want to insult the women of America by making them believe that they are helpless without Uncle Sugar coming in and providing for them a prescription each month for birth control because they cannot control their libido or their reproductive system without the help of the government, then so be it.
Now, look, he was saying that Democrats think women are pathetic and that's why they want to give them birth control, and otherwise they can't control themselves, etc. Now, that's a ridiculous comment to make. Do women want birth control as part of their health care package? Of course they do, in overwhelming numbers. It's not even close. But he's saying, oh, we're being demeaning. The Democrats are being demeaning to them by giving them something that they actually want, thinking that they're sluts. No, but wait, the Democrats don't think that. They just think it's part of their normal reproductive health care. You're the one implying that, right? But you're saying you're putting in the mouths of Democrats. Now, that's a ridiculous thing to say. It brings up this whole issue of war on women. It alienates female voters. So in the general election, that's going to be a disaster. But that's the problem with the Republican Party. You can't win in the primary if you're anywhere near reasonable. You got to go right, and then go a little further right, and then go a little further off the cliff, and then go a little bit more right as you're heading down, okay? And that's what Mike Huckabee's doing. So on that comment alone, we've got a new leader, Mike Huckabee. He's back. Now remember, by the way, small side note here, I predicted that Mike Huckabee was the only Republican that could beat President Obama in 2012. And I said that there was only 3 people who could have won that nomination to begin with, and one of them was Mitt Romney, and another one was Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee mysteriously, ridiculously, for his own purposes, decided not to run in 2012. I think it was a major mistake, and thank God he didn't do it, right? Perhaps he's had a change of mind. And here comes Mike Huckabee. And then it might be too late now, but it'll be interesting. Don't count him out. Look, he's an amiable looking guy. He seems like, oh shucks, I'm just Mike Huckabee. I'm your local pastor from Arkansas. I just know these folksy tales about life. Oh yeah, did I have people executed, which is not very Christian of me? But yeah, I did. There's some of them maybe I shouldn't have, but okay, it is what it is, right? And do I think women should know their role? Oh yeah, of course I do. Now to us, that seems like, oh wow, that's a disqualifier for president. For the Republicans, they think, yummy in my tummy. Who would have guessed Mike Huckabee? I would have guessed it last time around. I'm not sure even I would have guessed it this time around.